Hello, and in today's video we're going to be asking a question that I'm sure a lot of people who are learning English as a foreign language have asked themselves, and that is, which English exam should I take? And as we all know, there are lots and lots and lots of them. So what I'm going to do today is run through 5 exams that I am extremely familiar with. Just because I don't mention an exam does not mean that it's not well known or that it's not a good exam. This is from, my personal experience. Anyway, so before we get to that, we should consider some things, and you should be asking yourself these questions before or while you're looking for an English exam. First of all, your level of English. Very simple, and you've got to be honest with yourself here. You may need a proficiency qualification, but maybe your English is not good enough. Okay, so therefore there's no point in trying to sit an exam if you know you're not really going to pass it. You've got to be really honest, and I would always recommend that you are, if anything, over prepared for an exam. Let's face it, exams cost a lot of money, and none of us want to throw money down the drain. It's just not worth it. You've got to be well prepared, and you've got to be ready. So be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what is your level of English? And if you don't know, get yourself a teacher. How long you have to study. Now this is also very important. It'll probably depend on what age you are. If you are 18, 19, you might have lots of time on your hands. If you're a university student, you might not, because you're already studying, let's face it. If you are an adult and you're working with children, yeah, you've got no time, let's face it. So again, this is important, and this will also determine how long it's going to take you to prepare the exam specifically. When you need the results, this is a big one. A lot of times, especially if you're trying to get into university, they'll send you some requirements and you need to prove your level of English pronto, really fast, really quick, and therefore you should think about what exam you're going to be taking. And I'm going to be running through a couple of the exams that will give you very, very quick results, which is kind of useful these days, especially if your level of English is already there. Also, requirements. This is probably one of the main reasons that you're dealing with. Maybe you're moving to another country like Germany, and your employer will say, we need a TOEFL score of this. Okay, so you're going to be doing TOEFL. Maybe you need IELTS. Maybe you're going to university in Holland and they ask you for band 6 IELTS. So that's what you're going to be doing. So what I'm going to do now is have a look at a couple of exams. As I said, there's going to be 5 of them. So first of all, IELTS, which sounds very scary. International English Language Testing System. This is very well known. It is a Cambridge exam, and the reason why people would take this is there's 2 types of IELTS. First of all, there's academic IELTS, which is for people who are trying to get into university pretty much. And there's also general IELTS, which is when you're immigrating to a new country. For example, if you're trying to get into Australia or something like that, they will ask you for a certain level or a certain band in IELTS to prove that your speaking, listening and writing is of a certain standard. When you take the IELTS, it doesn't matter which one you take, they test your writing, your speaking, your reading and your listening, okay? And the grammar is tested in all of these kinds of things. So there's 4 things, and they'll give you a band score. If you want to know more about IELTS, please check out all our IELTS videos, and if there's anything you don't know, send us a question and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And the great thing about IELTS is you get your results within 2 weeks. I think it's 11 days to be exact, but this is pretty quick for an English exam, which is awesome. Other Cambridge exams, well, we all know Cambridge is Big Daddy when it comes to exams. Their exams really are awesome, and as you can see from the picture here, they have a wide variety to cover every angle. There's the PET exam. I love the name of that exam, PET. Makes it sound really easy. PET exam, B1 level, FCE exam, B2 level, CAE, this is the advanced level, and the CPE is their proficiency exam. What a monster that is. And there are lots more, not just that. So if you're interested in Cambridge exams, please check out their website. Now, in most Cambridge exams, they will test you on writing, grammar, reading, listening, and speaking. So they test you on everything. So that's the way it is. Let's move on. TOEIC. Ooh, another real beast when you say it out loud. Test of English for International Communication. Ooh, yeah, what a mouthful. Everyone just calls it the TOEIC. And again, if you're interested in the TOEIC, please check out some of our other videos on this topic. I go through the scoring and explain everything to you. But some very quick information about the TOEIC. There's two TOEIC exams. The first one will test your listening and your reading, and this is the one that most people kind of take. There's another one you can take as well, which will test your speaking and writing if you so wish. And again, an employer or university will ask you which one you prefer. Great thing about TOEIC is the results are released very quickly, within 2 weeks. Again, so important this. It's very popular with adults as well, rather than teenagers. And I think the reason why this is there is no fail. You can't fail this exam. That's right. Whatever you write in the exam, you will get a mark out of 1,000. Generally speaking, of course, you want to try and get like around 600 is about the FC level, 735 CAE, and proficiency over 930. So it's a nice exam because, you know, you can take it several times and your level will improve, especially if you need to prove to an employer your level of English or that you can speak English. And TOEIC is used for work and academic institutions. TOEFL IBT, as you can see from the picture here, this is a computer-based exam, which is very good for some people, especially if you're well up on your computing. This stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language. So some facts about this exam. As I said before, it is entirely computer-based, so you do your writing on the computer, the speaking and the listening on the computer, everything. So some people will like this, some people will be, oh no, especially if you're like me and you type like this, oh, maybe not such a good idea. You get the results again within 2 weeks, very good, and you'll be tested on writing, speaking, listening, and something's missing there, reading. And as you can see here, there is no grammar, which a lot of people will like. Finally, last but not least, there are the Michigan tests. And here, as if you're subscribed to this channel, you know I'm a big fan of the Michigan exams. ECCE, which is the B2 level, ECPE, which is the proficiency level. There are other exams they have as well. There's 2 or 3 more. Some of them I haven't mentioned, but I will mention the MET as well, which is kind of similar to the TOEIC. You take it and they'll give you a level of your English, which could be extremely useful for some people. Most of the Michigan tests will test your speaking, your listening, your writing, your grammar, and your reading. So like Cambridge, they're very thorough. They test you on everything. The good thing though about Michigan tests is the way that they test, or the format of their test. A lot of the time, especially for grammar and vocabulary, they use multiple choice questions, A, B, C, D, which I think is a very nice way of testing people because it's not stressful. And let's face it, if you don't know an answer, you're still in with a chance. Whereas a lot of other testing systems, yeah, you either know the answer or you don't. The same could be said about the TOEIC exam, that's multiple choice as well. And a lot of the TOEFL. I hope this has been useful. Once again, I would like to reiterate, there are so many English exams out there. It can be very baffling for students because they just don't know what exams to take. If you have any questions on the exams that I've mentioned, please send us a comment and I'll do my very best to answer your questions. Or of course you can contact the exams themselves. There are also some more tips videos for you here on how to pass your speaking exam, tips to improve your English, and if you have any questions or any tips videos that you want done, let us know and we'll do them for you. Thanks for watching, and remember, subscribe!